All right, come in to this video if you're ready to up-level your game in 2024. Kind of like I think my 5-year-old is up-leveling his basketball game in his room when I think he's supposed to be napping right now. It's fine. Hopefully that doesn't come through on the audio. Okay, I've got the inside scoop on 8 hot copywriting trends that I don't want you to snooze on. My hope is that these make writing and marketing fun for you again in 2024. What would that be like? That's my whole approach to business lately, is I'm trying to figure out, are we having fun? So in this video, that's what I'm going to talk about. Number 2, I have a special little bee in my bonnet about. Number 7, I struggle with myself. And I'm going to throw in number 9 as an honorable mention. Hey there, if we've not yet met, my name is Ashlyn Carter. I left corporate marketing to start my own business. Before I knew it, I'd grown a copywriting agency. We've sold more than 1.3 million in copywriting services. And so then I started an education side to my business as well. Coined the phrase copywriting for creatives. And I am dead set passionate on teaching people how to figure out messaging and positioning. It is a win the attention, win the dollar world. I'm going to talk about that in this video. It is paramount that you, as the CEO of your creative small business, be able to articulate why I need to buy from you. That's messaging. That's copywriting, baby. And I love teaching people everything basically that we learn on the agency side, because I want you to be able to do a lot of this for yourself. Now, let me have a little come to Jesus with you on trends and my thoughts on trends. You should have your brand message, what you want to say, your values, your vision, your offer, all that clear, right? Like you get clear with that. And if you're not, look down below, hop on the waitlist for Copywriting for Creatives. It's opening again, whole new live cohort. But copywriting is the vehicle to disseminate this message. That's where we can have fun with trends. I think about it a little bit like how my friend Shelby talks about the 10% of your wardrobe that's like kind of the fun stuff. You can let trends be that. I don't want to give you this list to exhaust you, okay? Like that's the caveat I want to say. I don't want you to have to worry about parting your hair in the middle or the equivalent of that for copywriting. But staying ahead in messaging right now is crucial. Hit the like button below if you have heard something to the effect of, what worked then doesn't work now. Launching is different these days. Marketing is harder these days. Anything kind of like that. I'd tap that like button like 10 times if I could. I hear that all the time. So I want you to be on top of your game to stand out in the digital landscape. We know the market rewards the best, and we also know the only constant is change. I told a group of entrepreneurs this earlier this year, but your X factor as a creative-y person is being able to solve for X. Like that's kind of your slightly unhealthy maybe, but that's your addiction as a small business owner, is like always trying to figure out, you're always trying to solve the problem. There's always a new problem. So when you hear people say, launches aren't working or XYZ funnel isn't working, I would argue you just need to do it different, because human psychology has kind of stayed the same mostly, and copywriting is applied psychology. I think these will make more sense as I get into them, so let's go. Number 1 copywriting trend that I'm seeing, dial up the conversational tone even more, be even more human. This is a trend that's only increased over the past few years, but now we're seeing more substantial brands do it. Now, maybe you market to Gen Z, maybe you don't. I don't really, but about 84% of them say they're more likely to purchase from brands that they perceive as cool. Ben Harms is the Chief Growth Officer at Archival, and he said Gen Z is basically reinventing the notion of brand loyalty. They're open to it, but they expect brands to earn it and continue to win them in new and innovative ways for the long haul. Why is this so interesting? Back to what I was saying earlier. You have to iterate. You're gonna have to maybe look a little bit different, and one way you can do that is humanizing your voice even more, showing even more of yourself, being vulnerable, being human. Emily Jeffords had me in her community recently to talk about AI and copywriting and fine art and sales messaging. And this is one thing she asked, is like, should we continue to put our personality out there, be ourselves, or what are you seeing with that? And I was like, yeah, it's dialed up all the more. One easy way you can do this is kind of speak internet. I read such a good book, this was years ago, it's by Gretchen McCulloch, and it's called Because Internet. It would totally be dated now, but it's just interesting to think about how the internet changes the way that we talk. And I think one way you can make this tactic, this trend, I guess, come to life is to talk like people talk on the internet now. Just take a scroll on your phone and you'll see how people speak online. Is your message, are you doing the same thing? It's not just conversational like people talk, but are you conversational in an internet speak way? Number 2, your launch messaging has to look different. Vogue Business came out with a great article everyone should go read. That's your assignment. It's called Gen Z Broke the Marketing Funnel, and whether you agree with that or not, It's a very interesting read that makes you think. And I'll say this, I know I just referenced Gen Z in point 1. A lot of us aren't even marketing to Gen Z. What matters is we have to pay attention to this. It's affecting the way brands present themselves, and it will have some effect on the age group that you market to with what you do. We know this. The youngest generation has always kind of set the new, they've raised the standard to the new place. Ben Harm's guy I was referencing earlier, he was talking about how Gen Z has just been constantly bombarded with content and info via social media. It's been their whole life. So inspiration and discovery is foundational to them. The challenge for brands is delivering that inspiration to them in the right ways at the right moments. He was saying that about Gen Z, but couldn't that be said of the digital marketing landscape right now? The game is trying to deliver the right piece of inspiration at the right time with the right hook. I had a friend text me recently. She was like, I'm getting into launch prep mode. What is on trend right now in launching? Breaking the system, doing it differently. Even if the funnel still looks the same, it is a webinar funnel. It is a private podcast into a launch funnel. It's a challenge funnel. It's a self-liquidating offer funnel. Even if the vehicle is the same, the hook and the angle and the messaging, you got to do it a little bit differently, change it up. And that's on being creative. I said it earlier, the market rewards the best. And if you can think of an out-of-box way to present information, you'll win the dollar, win the attention, win the dollar. So if you have a launch this year, that probably does put a little bit more pressure on you, but you do have to make sure that there's some newness element. Why now? Why now for any of your offers? Because it's not the time where you're going to be able to just have a total turnkey business where you can walk away and have all your webinar evergreen funnels work. You need to be prepared to spotlight your offers with a cool hook and angle. So yeah, you're going to see people do that this year. You're going to see big brands in the digital space realize they've got to position something a little bit differently than maybe they have in the past. The founder of Mad Happy said this, I loved it. Our most loyal customers really want to see us evolve. They loved what we've done already, but to replicate that again and again would be oversimplifying things. Yes, they don't want to see your brand do the same thing over and over and over and over again. They want you to win, but they want to see you soar, and they want to see you do something differently. So yeah, that's the trend. I'll wrap this up, number 2. I guess I just hear so many people saying, what worked then doesn't work now. And yeah, the only constant is change. Doesn't mean it's not hard. Okay, copywriting trend number 3, storytelling is still king, but research matters because people are researching a heck of a lot more. Look at the economy these days. People are holding the dollars tight. And they will part with them for the right reason, but you've got to prove it to them, and you've got to belly up with a lot of proof. This is my last Gen Z reference for this episode, I promise. And again, I don't market to Gen Z. It's just, we need to pay attention to it. 56% of them say brands lie about their products and services. Only 47% of us millennials think that brands lie. So if you thought that a marketer is out to separate a fool from his money was a thing we thought, we gotta buckle up. But it makes so much sense. Look at user-generated content. I remember the pandemic, that stuff really started to pick up. You saw brands put dollars behind it and push ads that had more UGC content. That's popped off even more. And it has this subliminal little seed that it plants in somebody's mind that I am a part of this brand so much that they could repurpose my content one day. Or stars, they're just like us. It shows them that they have stakeholdership in the brand when they have UGC stuff everywhere. Okay, so we're seeing how other people are using different products, what they say about it. I've told students all the time inside Copywriting for Creatives and inside my membership, you almost can't have too much proof on a sales page or around an offer because people will always, it's just how it is, they'll always believe the social proof more than they believe you. They know you're going to say good things about your stuff. So you've got to go crazy with social proof, and you've got to be a nut about getting it. The comment section is also being something that people read before purchasing. I've said for a long time in client and customer voice hacking, I teach inside Copywriting for Creatives, you need to know how to measure and look at comments. You need to have a system for putting your ear to the ground and swiping these phrases that people are saying, but just know it's also a place where your potential prospects are going and looking for information as well. So yeah, trend number 3, research, proof is going to matter way more. Number 4, personalization is going to uptick even more. This one's one of those trends that I'm mentioning today that's it's been going up, it ain't stopping. It's 2024. People expect the content that they're getting from you to be pretty tailored to their needs, especially if it's coming in from a channel like SMS messaging, email for sure. But even on your website, having chatbots that are aware and know, hey, welcome back, you've been here before. Y'all know I love my Hill House nap dresses, and I like Tucker Nuck too, and both of those brands do a really good job with SMS targeted messages. I'll put up a few that I've gotten lately. I'm trying to give an applicable That's the hardest word to say. I'm trying to give an applicable tip for you in each of these. And for this one, I would say for most of the brands that I work with, the simplest way to do this is your email personalization. Just being hyper aware. Don't send an email advertising something that people already have to them. Tailor your email. That's pretty easy to do. My favorite tool to do this, and one of the reasons I wanted to move back to ConvertKit, is through Liquid. So being able to go in and put code in my emails that kind of is like if this then that statements. So if they have this product, give them this message. But for this part of the email, if they don't have that, give them this message. Okay, recap so far. Number 1, copywriting trend, conversational, but not just how people talk, but how they type these days. Number 2, launch messaging that does look different. Number 3, storytelling is still king, but research matters infinitely. And number 4, hyper personalization. If you're tracking, hit the like button, and let's move into copywriting trend number 5, AI powered copywriting tools. You knew I was going to do this. I've been talking about AI copy since 2022. It's been a little over a year and a half since ChatGPT launched, and a lot of, I guess some people lost sleep over their jobs. Wouldn't know, never stayed up to 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling freaking out. Just kidding, I did a lot, and I actually love it. I use it all the time. Here's how it's going to impact you if it hasn't already, and I'm pretty sure it probably has. It has upped the level of noise out there, but it has also upped people's BS meter. A lot of people can sniff when something is AI written. I've said it before, AI isn't going to replace you as much as somebody that's using AI well is going to replace you. So you need to learn how to use it. I have 3 go-to favorite AI tools I love right now, and I'll tell you all about how I use them. I'll give you over the shoulders. I'll give you 200 AI prompts. I've got my little black book of AI copy you can grab right down below. Even this video that you're watching right now, I knew kind of the outline. I knew some of the trends that I wanted to talk about. I threw them into the tool that I'm not going to tell you. You got to get in there. I threw them into my tool of choice right now. It spit out a great outline and I grabbed it and I'm going. Another interesting way AI is going to affect the world of copy as a trend is through SEO. Now, for a while when AI came on the scene, people were saying, Google's not going to award at all blogs that are written with AI, but look at where Google's putting their dollars. They clearly care about AI. And remember, their goal at the end of the day has and will always been to hook up the best content possible, the best answer to the question with the person looking for it. So if AI was used in part to create something and it's the best answer, they're going to reward that by giving it a higher ranking. So it's not that they are anti-AI. You can use it in your blogs. You can use it to help you flesh out content, and there's some great tools out there. Okay, this is not going to turn into an AI video. I'm telling that to myself right now. Grab the little black book of AI copy if you want to get your hands on things more. It's just $9. Okay, copywriting trend number 7. This is one I struggle with a little bit, but I'm seeing more people take a ready, fire, aim approach to messaging, and it's interesting. I especially see this on X, or what used to be Twitter. You'll have people, business leaders, test an idea with a tweet. Maybe they'll thread it out a little bit. And then based on kind of how it does, it may then morph into more long form content that they do. And then that may then turn into a complete offer in and of itself. The trend here, people are getting good at firing from the hip and just throwing things out there. They're used to the ephemeral nature of social media and email and messaging, and they're playing with it, and they're playing with it really well. I think they're not as worried about having every single thing hit and having every single thing so perfect. They're just putting out what they think and then seeing where that lands and then continuing to iterate off that. So they're kind of building the art in real time. I am so bad at this. I want to go off and research and have everything all together and then present the most perfect thing. But a lot of people just don't have time for that these days. And I think that not just the algorithm, but I think buyers are awarding the transparency. I think that's what it is. They are giving them these brands that are being transparent, kind of trying things within limits. In real time, they're giving them their attention because it's interesting. It's like watching live street art. All right, copywriting trend number 8. Good brands are using microcopy everywhere. Microcopy, I have done a whole video on it. It's like one of my little love languages because it is a way to surprise and delight your customer. It's kind of like hiding Easter eggs in your copy, just little nuggets for people to enjoy along the buyer journey. It's not blasted out as a headline. I showed this example in a copy stock to my dog ear newsletter the other week, and I'll put it up over the side, but Groove.oo has some fantastic microcopy. One of the easiest ways that you can implement some microcopy, go to the client form on your website and just pre-fill in some of that text that sits in there as placeholder. Make it fun. Why not? Add some emojis in there. Get fun with your footer copy. Yeah, this one's pretty applicable and fun to do. Just make it your habit to find little places where you can surprise and delight with the snippet of copy. That's micro copy. Watch that full video if you need to wrap your head around that a little more. Okay, I told you I had an honorable mention award, and that goes to Google Voice Search Optimization. Make sure your copy is voice search friendly. This brings it back full circle to number one when I talked about saying things conversationally in your copy anyway. So there we go. I just tied up all the trends in a nice, beautiful bow. Okay, there you have it. Those are the 9 trends that I'm seeing for 2024. And I don't want trends to stress you out too much because you've got to have your brand message locked down. The trends can be fun things to layer on that. I would say it's paramount. You've got to get that attention these days. They say knowledge is power. We know really it's execution that is power. So act on maybe 2 of these in your business. Don't forget to get on the wait list for Copywriting for Creatives. Grab your little black book of AI copies, just $9 below. And if you've ever wondered before, is niching still a thing, or are we still niching? Watch the next video I've got teed up for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.